ideal setup that I'm using here today. It's not the sound or tonality that I would normally use, but it's just kind of for a clinic thing. Shall I set a book aside for you?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, one more question.
Are they going to produce this exact like this guitar?
This here? Oh yeah, this is exact.
The low end?
Oh yeah, this is the Yamaha Attitude version 3. It's identical. This just happens to be the prototype, and then they copied this prototype into production. But it's exactly this. And actually, the production model is tighter. This was handmade, and it's great and accurate and awesome. But the production models are cut out to way finer tolerances, and they're rock solid. They had one at a music store the other day. I was jealous because I don't have a black one, and I wanted one in black. And they had a black one, and I had it on order from Yamaha for a long time. So
So it's going to have the separation of the pickups with the...
It's exactly the same.
Everything.
Exactly. Identical.
Cool.
It's just that this one is the prototype. The other one I had used recently on a record, and I've sweated on it so much I kind of damaged those screws that do the intonation, and I couldn't really get it to solidly sit in because when we play live, it's just a sweat fest. I'm drenched. This bass is soaked completely, and the strings are like they're gone. They're so dead after I get done with the show. So that bass took a hard hit from recent touring because I used it a lot live. So this was the backup I had for it. I brought this out with me this time. That makes sense?
Is the sweat a factor, Glenn? I've never heard... I mean, I know people sweat to excess, especially the pop lights.
Well, when we play, it's a sweat fest. I mean, there's a steady stream coming off my chin that splashes onto this low E string all the while I'm playing. So by the second song, this string is gone. And then sure enough, by the time all the strings are completely dead and out of intonation, and the bass is slippery and hot and sweaty and wet, then it's time for your solo. So it makes it twice as hard. And then your calluses are as soft as a baby's butt. So they rip right through, the strings rip right through the callus, right down to the marrow. And you see little red traces there. They going all the way through. I tweet pictures of my fingers sometimes after the first couple shows we do on a particular tour. But it's a high intensity kind of a thing. So. Very generous of you. Thanks very much. Woo! I'm sweating now. Well, what a pleasure to be back in Detroit again. I always have great memories of playing in the city at Harpo's. Cobo, we were at Cobo Arena with Eat 'em and Smile, I think, right? I think he was there. And Greg Bissonette, you should be proud of him. He's just one of the greatest guys and drummers and most awesome music people ever. And he obviously comes from a good stock here in Detroit. It's very nice. Like I said, my purpose here was to try to talk about some stuff that might help you guys out in any way, shape, or form. I hope we covered something that was of value to you in some way. Or if we didn't, maybe you know now to go the other way and avoid that completely. However it goes, one way or the other, as long as it's good for you, I'm happy. Thanks very much to Yamaha for bringing me out here. I appreciate it very much. They picked up the tab on this, and that's very kind of them. They do care very much about the equipment they put out there, that it is a proper tool for musicians to do their art and do it well. And I'm very happy to have been with them over this last 30 years. It's been a great, great experience. So, having said that, I know the music business is tough, evil, horrible thing sometimes, and it can be discouraging and hateful and ugly. And but I do still believe somewhere in everybody there's a little thing. There's a thing everybody's got. I'm pretty sure about it. I've seen it, and I've seen it in action. So I think no matter where you're at, no matter who you are, no matter how old, how young, no matter what, that in there somewhere, now it's your job to find it, dig it out, and make it work. That's the tough part, of course. If that was the easy part, we would all do it easily. But to discover that thing in there that you have and develop it and make it work and get it to where you want it to be and have it drive it or have it drive you to the success that you want. It's tough. It ain't easy. There's no reason why anyone in this room couldn't have unlimited, huge success in music. Also, the other side of that coin is if one person in here tonight succeeds, that would beat the odds. So that's the discouraging part. But I think the first part is even more important because you really understand that it is in there. Now, what you wish for and what you want in life, of course, is very important. What you drive for, what you work on. I play hard. I practice more now than I ever did in my life. You see that? What's the movie with the drummer? Whiplash. I got that teacher living in my head full time. So I got forcing me to say, come on, no, wrong, no, missed it, no, it's too slow, no, you're rushing, come on, all the time. So really I'm hard on myself, not in a negative way, but in a way to just try to be the best I can possibly be. People are going to pay their hard-earned cash to come see me play. I want it to be an awesome night for them, and it's my responsibility to do my best for them, and your responsibility to do the best for your crowd as well. But to have that wish and that vision and that idea of something in the future, put it out there. Sometimes you never know, and some of the most unlikely successes you'll see in the world. We got a little short guy with a kind of a weird New York accent. He's short and pudgy and fat and half bald, and he's a giant movie star, Danny DeVito. If you would have seen that guy walking down the street, say, hey, there's a giant movie star. No way, that guy could never. Well, he is. Incredible. Overweight housewife makes, off-color jokes. Roseanne Barr, she made it. Weightlifter, bodybuilder, comes from Austria, can barely speak English. Yeah, you know where I'm going. He ends up the governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So it can happen, unlikely things. And I'll tell you about one in particular. When I was a kid, before I got my bass while my grandmother was still alive, my sister had an acoustic guitar, and I'd go into her room and I'd get the acoustic out. We'd learn like Beatles songs and stuff like that, a couple chords, Well-Respected Man, Gloria, Substitute, all that stuff. Pictures of Matchstick Men by Status Quo. Nobody remembers that? Okay. And there you go. So I found out the kid moved into my area and came to my school. His name was Rick Rischel. And it turns out he had a guitar too, so I got all excited. Me and Rick got together. Oh, let's play our guitar together. He's like, near. And that's Pictures of Matchstick Men. And we'd learn all these things together, and we just thought, man, wow, great music. How awesome it would be to be in a band. Great. And we had a catalog, a Gibson catalog. And we look at the Gibson catalog and look at it and I said, wow, man, it made it like they have a guitar like that, and like be in a band and like play music for a living would be unbelievable. Imagine what it would be just to play. But we had one other passion that we had other than music. Rick's dad was a grandmaster expert fly tyer. He would tie these fishing flies on size 22 hooks for the dry fly. Perfect imitation of what's going on in the water. Go fly fishing for these giant trout, and it was just an amazing thing. We loved fishing too. So we had another catalog by a company called Orvis. You may know them today as a outdoor company, but at the time when they first started, they were just fishing gear. They had all these super expensive, like hand-built fly rods. More money than our parents made to buy one of them. But we look at the Orvis catalog, like, wow, wouldn't it be amazing if it like, be a lure tester, or like fish for a living. It'd be incredible, amazing. And then we look at the gifts together, or play in a band and play music for a living, or fish for a living, and it would be so great. We had these two dreams. So we went on our way. I lost touch with Rick. Through the years, hadn't seen him much. Our families knew each other. And sure enough, Mr. Big, early 90s, #1 single, #1 video on The Tonight Show. Just a great, incredible, humbling success. And we're in Vermont on tour, and one of the crew guys comes back and goes, hey, there's a guy here who wants to see you. He says he went to school with you. Find out his name. Rick Rischel. Rick Rischel. Send him in. I can't believe it. Rick is here. He walks in as big as life now. He's like a big lumberjack, a giant guy. Rick, how you doing? I can't believe it. I haven't seen you for decades, almost 30 years or more. Gee, that's unbelievable. Incredible. How you doing? Good. How's your mom? Great. How's your mom? Okay. Oh, good. Fantastic. So we're talking there, and we're hanging out. And all of a sudden he stops me and he goes, hey. I go, what? He goes, you did it. I did what? Until that moment, I forgot that I had said, wouldn't it be great to be in a band and play music for a living? He goes, remember we used to talk about it? He goes, you got it. I go, I was overwhelmed. I didn't even think about, I never thought about this since it happened. I says, geez, that's kind of spooky. I said it, and now I got it. It's crazy, unbelievable. I go, man, thanks for bringing it up. I never really looked at it like that at all. But man, this is the first time I've thought about that since we did it. You know, we were playing guitars in your backyard that one day. Oh, man, incredible. Wow, thanks so much. He goes, hold on a second, I got something for you. Reaches out the door, brings in a velvet-covered aluminum tube, and hands it to me. What is this? Open it up. I slide the sock off. I undo it. It's an Orvis fly rod. I go, what's this all about? He goes, I work for Orvis and I fish for a living. True story. So as unlikely as it may seem sometimes, two little kids in Podunk, Buffalo, New York, we both got and I know a whole bunch of guys like that. A sax player buddy of mine, Mike Migliore, lived right down the street. He wanted to play with Woody Herman. He got the gig. Years later, he's playing with Woody Herman. Unbelievable. So these things can happen. So I want to, one factor, of course, in all of it is some good luck and good fortune. So I want to wish everybody in here the most vicious, hellacious, wicked, terrifying good luck humanly possible for you to achieve the goal. And the goal isn't always success and money and fame and all that nonsense. It's just to be able to play. We're playing music. It's so great. Even if you're just hanging out with your buddies and playing on weekends or whatever else, it's awesome. It's so great. So I hope you all pursue this adventure with maybe a little more vigor after tonight. If you do, I'd be very happy. But either way, I just want to thank you all for being here, being very attentive, being very generous in your applause. And we'll be back with the Winery Dogs very soon with a new record, and I hope we get to play near you here, and I'll look for your smiling, shining faces out there in the crowd. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you very soon.